okay, let's talk about it.
What? That the anime is quality?
That specific thing. Where, like,
again, I haven't seen this episode.
You haven't seen it. You haven't seen it.
But I love talking about the anime without seeing it.
Okay, so
because I can never be proven wrong.
I think it was the last episode. It had or the episode before that maybe, like an amazing director who just completely did an amazing job with Queen and
everything. Ishitami, right?
Right, Ishitami. And so this episode, it seemed like they tried to mimic it because it was a negative filter somewhat, but when I watched it, it was the Beast Pirates. They were having a good time. It seemed like they were like on an LSD or something. Okay. So it was just like they were on drugs. They were just having a good time. That's the vibe I got from it, as opposed to the Queen scene, where it was like more just concert lighting, more of a feel thing. So, I mean, I guess I can't necessarily agree with it being bad, because that may be what they were going for with the Beast Pirates. They're all drinking. They're all partying, and it looks like they're just stoned out of their mind. So that's the feeling I got initially from it, as opposed to copying what Ishitani was doing.
I mean, look, I understand that the anime for One Piece, it's weekly. They've got to work with what they've got. I understand that. I don't like that being the fallback. It doesn't make sense to me as a fallback excuse for it not being great, because to me that's like that's just explaining to me why it's not consistently good. That doesn't argue that it is good. I guess the example is like Burger King, okay?
Fast food.
Yeah, it's fast food.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's not fair to compare Burger King to a 5-star restaurant. Did you know? Yeah, it's fast food. Did you know Burger King, they have to unfreeze the food and feed it to you really fast? It's like, okay,
shuffling in and out.
Exactly. And I'm like, all right, man, I get that. But you just explained to me why Burger King is bad. It's still f***ing bad. That's not an art. I get that I can't compare it to a 5-star restaurant, but that still doesn't change the fact that the food's bad. You're just explaining it to me why it's bad.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can understand where it's justification for why it's bad. But I think even in the midst of the justification, you can understand, all right, and pull positive moments from it. So that's what I look at where, I comment on the pacing all the time. It's it's taking forever. It's just they're panning, they're stills. I comment on that. Yeah. But it's that's going to happen. Where I think what you're mentioning goes back to expectations, right?
Yeah.
Where if I go to Burger King, I expect right? I don't, let me not say that. Yeah. Burger King, if you want to sponsor.
Yeah. By the way, I use Burger King as the example and not McDonald's because I love McDonald's. Anyway.
So, with that, it's different. I don't go into it expecting a lot. So for One Piece anime, I go into it as a manga reader where I'm like, I just want to see my favorite scenes animated. I'm not going into it expecting, even Hunter x Hunter or I guess Demon Slayer in regards to animation every single time. But I think I just want to see those key moments, and that's what the Wano anime has been doing. They understand moments. So for the Queen, the Tobiropo introduction, Zoro versus Kamazo, Kaido versus Luffy, they know what the audience wants to see, where I think better than before, where in the past we were like, all right, we can't wait to see Sanji dodge the jelly bean from Katakuri. Yeah. Then it'd be just completely underwhelming, right? Like trash. In the Wano anime, they're like, okay, we know what they want to see, and we're going to give them what they want to see. So with that, I think it's better in regards to that, and just in a vacuum, better than it's ever been.
I can understand that, and that clip, for example, like you're talking about the moments that they made really good. Yeah. You could even take the moments that you wouldn't even expect to be good, like that clip that you showed me of Luffy Kid Law. Yeah, that was a throwaway moment in the manga, but
they made it good.
Yeah, the anime recognized that, no, this is a really, really cool scene. It's the three of them together again for the first time. Let's play it up a little bit. I thought that was really cool. I guess my only take on it is basically that I'm a sort of particular person in that I can't do this sort of swapping back and forth in terms of like, okay, the anime is the definitive version to watch one day, but then for this section it's the manga. I'm kind of looking more so for like when Wano's all said and done, I'm not going to do like a swap back and forth of like, okay, chapters 900 whatever to whatever I'm going to be watching in the anime, but then I'm going to skip back to the manga for this scene. I just want to be able to sit down and like binge the full thing, and that's what's frustrating for me.
But that's not what's happening.
Exactly.
In the recent anime episode, Yamato, you remember the figure behind Jinbei and Robin?
I know that was cleared up to be Yamato.
Yamato.
I actually appreciate the anime doing that.
Yeah, they did that. And of course, we had the past with Page 1 and him not being defeated, etc. So the anime is adding a lot more context. But I let me ask you this: how do you feel about the Vivre Cards, SBS's movies? Because you've seen one movie.
I've seen Bear no Matsuri. Yes.
And you did a tier list of all the movies.
Yes. Bear no Matsuri won because it was the one that I watched.
Of course.
So
I don't want to say it had an unfair advantage, but right. So
maybe a little bit. Yeah.
In Film Z, that's when they revealed Aokiji.
Yeah.
Him losing his leg, right? And there's still some, things there with Z and his backstory, because in the movie he apparently trained all the admirals that we know of, and a lot of the vice admirals. Then a warlord apparently cut off his arm, shit like that. So that's still a lot of canon stuff that we're trying to figure out. But in Stampede, that's when they revealed that Raftail is actually called Laugh-Tail. Right?
Dude,
you don't like that?
I think that the moment still hits, right? 967. The Roger laugh moment. Yeah. That still hits. Yeah. It would have hit so much harder
if you didn't know.
Yeah, if he said, "That's why we're calling this place
Laugh-Tail."
Yeah, it would have been, it would have been insane.
I agree.
And I think that Stampede, from what little I know of Stampede, I don't know how much it loses without having that. Does it lose anything? Yeah, that's my only take on it. By the way, Film Z won the poll of best One Piece movie for most people.
I mean, it is.
And yeah, you told me that beforehand, so it actually overwhelmingly the majority voted for Film Z.
I think the continuity of the story, it didn't feel like we're stepping into a different thing. In Stampede, we had the Supernovas, we had all these different random people like Panda Man. We had it was obviously a showcase.
I've seen the clips from Stampede.
Right? It's just all these characters just showing, just having a good time. It didn't feel real, right? Where for Z, it felt real. It felt like this was part of the story. Even with how Luffy defeated him at the end, it's just like everything just felt great. How the admirals were involved. So I think that's why Film Z resonates. And then Zephyr, he's a great villain.
Okay.
It's weird because he was a former Marine. Yeah. So he was a great antagonist.
Okay. It all felt organic. It felt One Piece is what you're saying.
Definitely felt that way. So that's why I think Z was the best One Piece movie.
And that's one of the reasons that I generally stay away from doing the One Piece movies, just because to me it's at the end of the day it's fan fiction, because it's not Oda making it, it's highly produced fan fiction.
It's getting closer though.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Stampede sounded like it strayed away a little bit, but Film Z, if it's got a good story, then that's the one I technically have to watch it and react to it, because I put that as the poll option.
Watch through or something.
Yeah, I'm going to actually do that.
Yeah, that's
maybe get the Twitch audience going a little bit.
Nah, because I think it's drawing more audience to the movies, because if I know it's going to be something revealed that I haven't seen before, that's canon, I'm going to watch the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, so Film Gold, I think I didn't like Film Gold at all.
I didn't even understand why they made Film Gold, because every other movie there's some really interesting draw, Strong World jumping off of Chapter 0. Yeah. There's a lot of hype going into it. We want to see the Shiki stuff.
Yeah.
Film Z, again, it seems like it plays into a lot of canonical stuff that people want.
Yeah.
Zephyr stuff, good story. Film Gold, I don't get. It seems like a filler among the One Piece movies.
Have you seen I know for a fact you probably haven't seen the Mad Treasure special that they dropped beforehand.
No.
Where they had this random dude fighting CP0.
Okay.
And basically beating CP0. It was weird, but they dropped a special beforehand.
Okay.
A precursor, and it's pretty average, whatever. But I don't know. Film Gold was just weird. They added some fanfic context where it's Gil Tesoro, he beat Doflamingo or something. It was just some weird. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. And Gil Tesoro, he wasn't charismatic enough, in my opinion. He was just there. And then Film Gold was it was a fun time if you're drunk or something.
Okay, all right.
It was all right. It was just all right. But I think the movies are straying towards more of a, include some canon elements to make it so that people want to go watch it.
Yeah.
I was talking about this on Twitch the other night, where could One Piece pull off an entirely canon movie? Do you think that's possible?
I've heard this thing, the One Piece next film
rocks.
Yeah, that leak. You saw that?
I think that was fake.
it's fake, I would prefer it that way, just because
I think it was fake.
I don't know. Like, if it's fully canon, what does that mean? Does that mean Oda's writing the full thing, or is the anime just going to do it and Oda puts a stamp of like this is canon on it?
Approval. The Ace novels. Did Oda write those per se, or did he?
Well, I mean, this goes back to like you think the SBS Vivre Cards and Ace novels. Like, what do you think about those?
Well, I feel like if something comes where it's like, okay, this is from Oda, or it gets Oda's stamp of approval, I observe it as canon. Because say that's Sengoku thing.
Yeah.
Him having conquers hockey. Like, all right, cool. What about
Makes
Fujitora
sense.
saying he actually ate the devil fruit? It's kind of like,
that's important. Right? That's just important.
Marco's bounty. That was revealed outside of the story as well.
That's just weird though, dude. Like, why not? It's so easy.
It was so easy.
It would have been so easy.
It would have been so easy to just like say Marco. He's gotten introduced back into the story so many different times.
Yeah.
Marco, first command of the White Bay Pirates, 13 whatever bounty, 1370 whatever.
Well, my thought is then the Vivre cards, you got to actually sell those, right? So is that why they have this incentive to basically? Because I don't like this angle. Then if Oda is deliberately saying, okay, there's some easy stuff I could slip into the canon of the story, but we want to sell these Vivre cards, so let's toss in some juicy information that actually makes it worth reading. Little does he know, I'm just getting my info from Arthur, so I never have to buy a thing. But still,
I think Oda's gotten to the point where he's an entity.
Yeah.
So he understands the business. He's been cultivated to the point that, okay, I don't like that, but I understand why it's necessary. There was a quote where he talked about, I would not have liked showing the laugh tail thing in the movie if it wasn't for the anniversary. So
I get that.
I think for him, while he'd rather have everything in the story, I'm sure people have convinced him, hey, if you put everything you want to put in your story, it's going to go for another 20 years. Because imagine if Oda kind of focused on all the things we've gotten from the SBS Vivre Cards and even the One Piece magazines.
Yeah.
We'd still be in pre-timestamp. It would be so many different things. The cover stories.
Yeah.
Like all these things that he has to find different ways to get the information to us because it's such a
it's
grandiose story. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's obviously one of, I won't say the biggest strength of One Piece, but that's like one of the biggest draws of One Piece. I've said it before, but like there is literally no other series I believe that you can have this many discussions about this many. Like I don't think I could ever do a 10-hour stream, like the Reverie, for example, or any other series, because there's just not as much material to go off of. So that's the fun of One Piece. We could just talk about SBSs and Vivre cards for a while, but like, it's still frustrating a little bit when it's like, well, I wish it was all in that one place. I wish it was all in the canon.
The Yasu thing.
Yasu thing is a weird thing to throw into the Vivre cards.
Yeah, where it's like, he didn't actually eat a smile. He was faking it for the people. I was like, come on. Like that would have been...
that's like a good bit.
That's a great thing to have in the story. You know what I mean? So it's... Sometimes it works.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I think more often than not, it's like, why wasn't this in the story? But, I think I understand for Oda and One Piece, it's kind of like, hey, not that he's being forced to do it, is that he has to do it.
It's a weekly release.
He's
trying to maximize every single panel.
And then it seems like he's trying to wrap the story up. Kind of, sort of. Whereas
I'm not on board.
I think,
but I see why people are saying it.
Because earlier you said 10 years from now, One Piece will still be going on.
10 years, guarantee it, right here.
10 years.
How many years on are we?
24.
All right, he's going to try and get to 30. He's going to get to 30. I'll say that.
I think they said it's already planned, the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he definitely gets to 30, but 34?
It's a lot. It's like...
Because Oda's 50, 48 right now? How old is he? 50?
Yeah, and his schedule is not healthy.
No.
It's not healthy at all. I mean, I would rather he wrap it up than have it wrapped up by someone else. That would be terrible.
I think just how he writes, though, I think he's going to, even at the end, leave some open-ended things.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to be hands-on, but not as involved, and like, hey, that's fine, you can make that. Someone like how Toriyama is nowadays, where it's like he's not actually doing a lot of this stuff, but he has other people doing it, but it's like a stamp of approval.
I think Kishimoto, same thing. Not 100%
he
sure.
was. I think he was doing that with Boruto. Then he took over again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he took over again.
Okay.
His assistant was doing it, and then I believe he took over again. because he was writing Samurai 8.
Yeah,
and got canceled. I think he took over again. I saw people like, oh, Kishimoto is back. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I've been seeing people say Boruto is a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah,
saying that.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that makes sense. But yeah, okay, I guess last thing I'll say for this is, do you think at the end of Wano, are you going to be... I'm going to assume you're going to binge back through Wano when it's over. Right?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and assume that. You going to be watching it or reading it?
Reading it.
Okay.
I'm going to watch... Because with Wano and the anime, it's easy to just watch the clips randomly, right?
Yeah.
But I've never watched the entire Wano anime again. I would never rewatch the entirety of One Piece. I reread One Piece, right? But rewatching
I might do One Piece. One Piece is a strong option for that.
I would say I'd rewatch the entirety of One Piece maybe 10 years after it's over. That's normally what I do.
You need some separation.
Right? So I've done that where after something's over, I give it 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Then I rewatch it again, the entire thing. I think I did that. I haven't. Well, Game of Thrones. We'll see once.
No, dude. What? You gonna skip the final season? How are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna watch it.
How are you gonna set yourself for so much disappointment, man?
Did you see the thing about who they were planning to have kill the Night King?
Shouldn't it be Jon Snow?
They said they did not want it to be Jon Snow because he always wins or he always does something cool or whatever, something like that.
That's why we wanted it. That's why we wanted it.
But here are the people that they considered killing the Night King.
Oh boy.
Brienne.
Sorry, what?
Brienne.
What?
And the Hound. They considered having those two kill the Night King as opposed to Jon Snow. Then it just came up with Arya. I was like that. I'm like,
I don't understand.
I'm happy they came to the conclusion of Arya, at least because she's a fan favorite.
That's better than the two that they went with or were considering.
That would have been horrendous if you had Brienne kill the Night King.
She's never even heard of the Night King.
Why would she do it?
Yeah, I don't.
And then Jon Snow, it's like they had that, the stare down, and you thought at some point
it was clearly set up. That would be like Luffy versus Kaido's setup for
and then Zoro cuts off his head.
No, not even so. Go eight characters down. Go 8 characters down. It'll be like
Killer.
It's like Killer, that's why they call me Killer.
That's why they call me Killer. Yeah, Massacre Soldier. That's for turning me into a smile user. Yeah. That'd be so fucking horrendous. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. I'll rewatch it at some point.
All right.
But not right now.
No.
Not right now.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Tune in 10 years to Braga's Game of Thrones rewatch.
Game of Thrones watch on Twitch 10 years from now.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it.
Okay.
Subscribe. No, whatever.
Yeah.